Hi, this is a tutorial that I want to walk you through how to access cannex SOAP API from any incorporated network to have this security section added on or plugged in from Light Gateway. This is one for developed for one of our customers, but of course this is only a sample code. It's not the customer using a much more complicated code. So what we are trying to do is this: we are trying to set up on the Light Gateway so that the request coming from internal consumer will not have the security header in the SOAP. But when we are trying to send out the request through the external service handler, we add this security section in the SOAP headers. Let's first take a look at the transformer class. We're basically trying to leverage the request transformer, which is based on the rule engine. So within the rule engine, we need a jar file created. So this is the class in the jar file. So what we are trying to do is this: we are trying to get the request body, and also we are trying to get the username password through this action values. And once we get this, we basically try to transform the request body using the username password. So within the transform, it's very simple. We just do a simple replace using regular expression, because we don't want to introduce any XML Java library trying to do the XML parsing. We just treated this as a string. So what we are looking for actually is this string SOAP :header. This XML string basically will be replaced by generate security this class returns. So within the generate security, you can see we need a nonce, we need the date, time, and also we have username password passed from the rule engine rule. Once we got everything, we basically trying to use this as a template and pass in all the necessary information. We also need to use password digest, which is created by this, and also we need to generate a nonce based on the timestamp, I think, using the big64 encoder. So this is a very simple class. So what it does is when you have requests come in, the SOAP request coming from the consumer, the transformer will basically pull the information from the rule engine and run the rule and put this replace the security, this SOAP header with all the security information. This is this security. You have all the information necessary for the cannex API to authenticate the request. This jar file will be compiled into a simple jar, and this simple jar will basically put into the gateway. This is the gateway code. So the jar file will be put into the gateway rules jar folder. You can see we have this jar file here. You can also debug into the code if you want to within the IDE, the Light Gateway IDE. So this is how we create the jar file, which is a plugin to do the real transformation. Now let's walk through how we're gonna access the cannex API from the configuration. So first thing first, in order to access the cannex API, we need to go to the cannex website to download the certificate. And you can download 3 certificates. One is the cannex certificate, and the other one is their CA certificate, and there's a root CA certificate. We need to put all 3 into this client.truststore. This client trust store is shared so that all the downstream external services, we need to put their certificate into the client trust store. Once this is done, we need also create a rule. So this is the rule we just created. So this is the request transformer rule, the rule type. This is the rule ID. It's SOAP security request. The public visibility and the description condition will be the path will be equal to this slash dev ext canx antc multi-service, things like that. This is the condition. So once the condition is met, like in the rule engine, it will basically try to invoke the transform class, which is the rule action class. This is the class we just showed you before we start this session. So this is the real transform action. The transform action has two parameters, which is username, password. When you are trying to use this, you use your real username, password. So here just the placeholders. So this is a rule we added into the rules.xml. We have some other rules here for other transformers. In the value.yaml, we need to make a little bit change. First thing first, the rule loader, we need to make a change so that we can load that rule during the server startup. So this is the rule we are trying to load for this particular endpoint. So this is the endpoint slash dev est canx antc multi-service at post. So as long when we have this post request coming in, it will invoke this this request transformer with rule ID. This is the type of the rule, and this is the rule ID is SOAP security request, which is defined here. So this is the change we made, like add this endpoint. So this is the endpoint and the rules mapping. So each endpoint you map a list of rules per rule type. The next change we made is request transformer.yaml. So we basically add this this applied path prefixes. So that meaning like the request transformer will be invoked to do to invoke the rule engine when the request path is this one. So you can see we have three passes here defined, and this is the one we added for this particular transformer. The next we need to add is the external service. So we just add this external service here. So the network NT proxy external service handler, and we give it alias called external, and we basically add external here. Right after the header, you have the external. So any external service, let's say MRS or Salesforce, you can add here as well. We just need to make sure this external service is after the request interceptor and the response interceptor, which is called transformer. Once we get that set up, because we are using external service, so we add this external service YAML. So we need to make sure the external service enabled is true and HV2 is false. And also we need this path host mappings, which meaning if the external service receives a path like this, it will basically route your request to https www.dev.cannex.com. So the certificate we got, actually we just using this URL from the browser, and we can download the certificate from the browser. You can also contact the cannex vendor to ask them to give you the certificate. Because we don't want to verify the certificate with the host name, so for the client.yaml, we basically add this configuration, client.verify host name equal to false, because sometimes the certificate we got is not matching the host, so we want to disable this host verification from our side. So that's all we need to do for the configuration. So once this configuration is done, you can send a request through the Light Gateway. You can start the Light Gateway in the IDE, and you can debug into the external service, and also the rule engine rules, as well the rule action class to figure out if there are any error or something. That's it. This is the configuration I walk through. I'll put the link for this particular commit into the documentation so that you can check what has been changed for this particular plugin to be enabled. Thank you. Bye.